Hello again. In this segment of our demonstration of the features of Connected.info, I'd like to share with you a bit about what the parent experience is like using the system. You've seen in other segments various features of the teacher's experience and the student's experience with Connected.info, and I wanted to go ahead and show you a little bit about what a parent can do. This is again a home page for the parent. You can see the parent has a couple of similar portlets to the other users, and one that is unique, this My Students portlet that I'm moving right here. In this case, this parent has only one child in the system. There could in fact be many children for each parent, and that they would see all of their students in this portlet. They wouldn't have to sign in multiple times to view different students. One thing that can also be pointed out here are some features that have been parent influenced, such as the weather up at the top of the page here. This is something that our focus group parents told us was important to them. This is they would sign in and use Connected.info in the morning, and they'd be able to see any important messages and things they need to know about for that day, but also of course they'd be able to figure out how to dress their kids. So that was important to them. In the My Students portlet, what we have is the ability to look at a number of different things for each child. Their profile, which we haven't really talked very much about, but it's a social networking community website type of feature, and we can show that at another time. The classes that Adam in this case belongs to, the groups that Adam belongs to, and Adam's grades and attendance. I'm going to go ahead and click that link now. So here's a representation of the information in the student information system about Adam's grades and Adam's attendance. So you can see here's all the classes that Adam attends. We're very early in the trimester, so there's not really a lot of grades for the various classes, but there are a couple. Let's go ahead and click on the assignments here for American Studies. I want to show you what that looks like. So there are a couple things to note here. There are assignments that were generated by the teacher's gradebook, and so these were assignments that were turned in by hand. So you can see here that there's one that's been graded for a 9 out of 10, and that's the only assessment so far that's been noted in the gradebook. There's actually no indication yet that Adam has actually turned anything in by hand. If the teacher had noted that in the gradebook, we'd be able to see that here in the submitted and viewed portion. This is an assignment on Abe Lincoln that has actually been created or edited inside of Connected by the teacher and assigned electronically. So here we can see that the due date is March 11th, and Adam actually viewed the assignment on March 5th and submitted his completed assignment also on March 5th, and it has not been graded yet, assessed or graded. As a parent, I might like to look at what this assignment's all about. So here's a much more in-depth review of the assignment than I might have seen in other places. And I can actually see what Adam has submitted. And if I wanted to actually review what Adam has submitted, I could click here. And Adam wrote a blog post about Abraham Lincoln and submitted it as his response to the assignment. This is, as a parent, actually pretty exciting because I've never actually been able to see a lot of my own children's work, and one of the things I'm excited about with Connected.info is that I would be able to actually review these assignments. So this is, I think, a very exciting feature. The other pieces of the product work similarly to what we've seen for other users, the news and alerts section, the calendar. These of course are entries of a personal nature. If I take a look at the calendar, I can see there's information on all the events that Adam has on his calendar, and then events that I have on my calendar as well. I also have the ability, as we showed in another segment, to add other calendars and the events on those calendars into my calendar, and also to publish this calendar out to services such as Microsoft Outlook and Apple iCal. So I have all the capabilities there. I also have the messaging system, and I can also set up groups. And one of the things that this particular parent has done is created a group for a sports team for something called the Tigers. Could be baseball, could be soccer, could be a lot of different things. It says Little League here, so it's actually a baseball team. And so this is an example of how Connected.info can be used in a parent's personal life, in addition to the school life of their children. So I'm imagining here that this parent is a coach of a Little League team, and so they have the ability to invite all of the parents or children even on the sports team, on the Little League team, to be members of Connected.info for the purposes of interacting with this group. And this, you can see we have the ability to do subgroups and a whole bunch of different things. And you might use subgroups, for example, on a baseball team to keep track of the people who are supposed to be doing snacks, for example, or anyone who's helping out with practices or those kinds of things. So a lot of capabilities there in the system for parents, and that's just a quick overview of the parental experience with Connected.info.